You've heard us talk about them. They're in, and they're on the website.
Absolutely. Our brand new America's Diesel podcast, branded bills, badass, flex fit, performance material, sweat stain resistant. It literally feels like it cools your head.
I don't know how that's
amazing.
possible, but somehow it is. Yeah, you can rock it. You know, I'm more of a flat bill kind of guy. You can do that. You can curve it. For all you taco holder guys, you can even throw that in there.
Yeah.
And then snap back with a little bit of the flex fit.
Yeah.
Big head approved, small head approved.
And it's extremely comfortable. I almost guarantee, I say almost guarantee. No, I guarantee this is the most comfortable hat you will ever wear. And the logo, rubber. Awesome.
Yeah.
Came out great.
Super detailed rubber on there, so it's never going to fade on you. If you want to get one of these in your hands, they are $50, shipped to the lower 48, plus tax, if applicable in your state. Just go on the dieselpowerproducts.com, search hat, look for the fantastic Jam and Eagle logo, pick yourself up some before they're out of stock.
Yeah.
America's Diesel Podcast.
Brought to you by Diesel Power Products.
America's Diesel Superstore.
No salesman,
Just enthusiasts.
dieselpowerproducts.com.
Your number one source for all things diesel.
Oh, do you know what I saw on I think it was Facebook today? You know how like these like videos come up? It's probably with everybody, like random videos, come up.
Yeah.
My hairstyle is ancient Japanese samurai haircut. This dude
Well,
had,
that settles it.
This dude had like long hair, and then he literally shaved just the top of his head, and then like bicked it.
You know what we call that?
Japanese samurai haircut.
I thought it was the friar tuck.
No, dude, samurais, dude.
I would say samurai.
Keeps her head cool on warm battle days.
That's way cooler than the friar tuck.
This week's podcast episode is brought to you by Fuel Bomb Diesel Additive, an additive designed for diesel enthusiasts, made by diesel enthusiasts. Ben, take it away.
Hell yeah, dude. So this is our in-house Fuel Bomb fuel additive for your diesel truck. Our biggest thing here is making sure that you can pretty much always have diesel additive on you all the time. You've got a lot of other additives out on the market that they have, anti-gel in there all the time. They have cetane in there all the time. They end up being big and bulky bottles. Our standard everyday diesel fuel additive is 1 ounce per 32 gallons, and that's its main job is to make sure that your fuel system stays lubricated and prevents the formation of algae. And it should also help you in colder climates too.
Should definitely help you in colder climates. Along with cleaning your fuel system and maintaining it, it'll also help you bump that cetane number up for a more efficient burn of your diesel fuel. And if cetane is just what you're after, there's the Fuel Bomb Hellfire, which is our straight 8+ cetane enhancer.
Yeah, and you guys asked, and we brought them back. We did go away from the bottles that didn't have the measuring little parts in there. We brought them back for you, so now you can measure out your 1 ounce per 32 gallons for the F-Bomb or 4 ounces per 32 gallons for the Hellfire.
Both these additives are available on our website, dieselpowerproducts.com. Now let's get back to that episode.
All right, we're going to get this episode started real quick here. If you've had frustrations on Craigslist, you're in the right place, but let's get this intro happening. Thank you for tuning in. This is Ben and Tucker from America's Diesel Podcast coming at you in Spokane, Washington. Make sure and check us out on all podcast avenues, Google Play, SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify. Side note on that, we did recently change how we distribute our podcasts. If you have been, obviously, if you haven't been getting updates, and you're somehow hearing this and you figured it out. But if you're noticing on our Instagram, you're like, man, these things, they haven't updated in a while. We've been still putting podcasts out every week. If you listen to it on a certain venue or medium that's not getting updates, please let me know because we need to try and figure that out. But yeah, make sure to check us out on all those. Obviously, all the main ones, Google Play, SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify.
Waypoint TV.
And Waypoint TV, yep. We are the only automotive-based podcast in that.
No, we're not.
Well, off-road power products.
Yeah.
I don't consider them automotive.
Wow.
Side-by-sides and granola, man.
Hey.
Boats and hose. We're trucks, man.
No, true enough.
Freaking trucks.
All right, fair enough.
Tyler reviews. Let's skip some stuff. I don't care. Go.
Oh, yeah. Reviews. Keep those reviews coming in. Leave a 5-star review on any of the platforms that Ben mentioned earlier. You didn't even mention them. Leave a 5-star review on any platform that you listen to us on. Screenshot that and send it to podcast@dieselpowerproducts.com. Make sure to include a picture of your truck and an address that we can send a sticker to. It looks just like our logo on our background or on our cups or on our podcast logo, any T-shirts, whatever.
Both of our shirts today. Dang.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, matchy.
Dude, this weather is crazy.
Yeah.
It's
gnarly this morning.
Dude,
Yeah.
it was hotter than hell yesterday. Mowed my yard, front and back, sweating like a whore in church. And wake up this morning, and it's like pouring rain.
Yeah.
And it's cold. I'm like, what the?
And then about 10:30.
I didn't even realize that. Then I went to lunch, and I was like, it's hotter than hell out here. Like, what the?
Make up your mind, Spokane. Make up your
Seriously.
mind. All right. Make sure and check us out on all the social medias, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, sort of. We do go live every Wednesday on our Instagram account. You can find us there by searching America's Diesel Podcast. That is run by us, as in me. So you're not going to get spammed with a whole bunch of other crap on there. You're not going to, well, you may get ads. I'm not sure how Instagram and the algorithm works, but as far as like what goes on there, that's basically through me and the old cell phone here. So give us a follow there. We are trying to pump up our Instagram numbers, and if you could follow or can join us for the live, have a beer, ask some questions, talk a little bit of smack, we'd greatly appreciate it. And if you do need parts for your diesel pickup, make sure and check out dieselpowerproducts.com. We have sales techs on the phone Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific time. They can answer any questions you may have. And make sure and let them know if you're ordering with us that you are a podcast listener. You receive absolutely nothing, but it helps us out. Also, another kind of random thing here. If you are listening to this on a certain type of, like, whether you just like stream it or whatever, this is going to sound petty, but what helps us the most are downloads. Because a lot of, if you just like stream it doesn't count as a download. I don't care if you download and delete it, but if you're like, man, I don't buy diesel parts, I like them for the color commentary, which I love you too. But what helps us out as far as stats goes, downloads. If you download it, set it to auto download, delete them. I don't care. After you listen to them, doesn't matter. But the downloads really do help us out a lot. Make sure you do that. Oh, tell that to your sales tech that you're a podcast listener. That helps us out. If you're filling out an order online, there is a small part where you can put in your delivery instructions. Type podcast in there. I search them every couple of days just to make sure I can tally them all up. If you did place an order and you're like, dang, I forgot to mark that down, no worries. Shoot me a message. Let me know. I can mark it down. Lastly, if you are ordering parts for your diesel pickup and you're not buying them from Diesel Power Products, I want to know why. No one has taken me up on this yet. And I've been saying it for months. And I know we're not perfect. So if
Maybe you need to be less aggressive with it.
Okay. Okay. Channel my inner Joe Badangadoo here. Here we go. If you're ordering parts from someone else besides Diesel Power Products,
Come on, man.
what the hell? Figure your freaking line. I can't do that. I'm sorry. If you're ordering parts and you're listening to this podcast and you're not buying from Diesel Power Products, I want to know why. Legitimately, good, bad, happy, sad. Could be a simple thing. Could be complicated. I don't care. Shoot me an email. Shoot me a message. Whatever. Let me know. Because we do legitimately want to be the best in the business. Okay. So Craigslist. Freaking Craigslist.
Yeah.
So you may, I'm not sure when the episode that we filmed last week is going to come out. Hopefully it's the one right before this one. But Cory was going to look at a truck. If you hear that chuckle. So there's two of us on the screen here. Cory's the guy behind the screens here. He's also one of our sales techs, so you may actually get him on the phone. But he has a 4Runner. That's his off-road project, and he's looking for just a pretty, a gasser half-ton or gasser 3/4 ton pickup to tow it around, because we discussed last time a diesel doesn't really fit his needs, which we totally understand. 4 or 5 years ago, I would have been calling you a bunch of big bad names.
He'll only get 5 lashings for that.
Only 5 lashings.
Yes.
Yeah. Just because he literally
Wait, you're excited about it? 6. Now what?
He lives like
Let's go.
1.2 miles from work.
Yeah.
And drives like 30 miles a week. So yeah, I get it. But so yeah, you went to look at a truck last week. How was that?
So it's about an hour drive too. That's kind
It's a nice drive, though.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Did you go through Worley?
No, it's just Cataldo, really. Just off the 90.
Oh.
Yeah, we didn't have to go that far down.
Oh.
So he
I
met
thought you
us.
said St. Mary's.
It's just north of St. Mary's.
Oh. Gotcha.
But yeah, so we go and the guy he pulls up, and the front bumper a little bit off.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, well, this doesn't look like the pictures, but okay, let's keep looking. Every single panel just looks like you take like a coarse sandpaper, and that's how he washed it.
He was going through that, for that matte black, that matte look.
I think he did the cut and polish wrong.
I freaking bet. I was just texting my wife back real quick. I was a bad listener. Did you tell him what truck it was?
It was a 2012 Chevy, actually GMC 2500. But yeah, it was terrible. Dents on almost every single panel. The tailgate was destroyed. Like not destroyed, but like you can tell some things got like slammed into it. So yeah, it didn't go as well as I wanted it to.
Yeah. You still made him an offer though.
I did. I offered him probably like $5,000 less than what he actually wanted.
Yeah, he wanted like 25. You offered him 20.
Yeah, which was my goal anyway. Knowing that I throw money into body and paint instead of suspension and stuff like that. But
and here's where I'm probably going to get fired up and probably down a downward spiral here for no good reason because I have no idea who this guy is. But so you made him an offer for 20, and what did he respond with?
He said he was too upside down on the truck to be able to sell for that much. Now here's the kicker though. He was looking for a half ton, but he'd already bought a half ton.
Okay.
Now, before you get fired up here, I have an 18-year-old truck. There is no reason I should be going to look at a newer truck and my truck look, physically better than this truck. Yeah. At least that's my mindset. That said, I do take care of my truck. But, oh, man.
Yeah, it's for him to be, I know we just started talking about it, but for him to be upside down
Let's unpack that.
Yeah.
Let's
So
talk
it's a
about poor
2012
financial decisions here.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did he say he bought it new?
He did not. We pulled the Carfax before even going to see him.
So I don't even care. He doesn't even probably listen to this podcast because he doesn't even have diesel. He's an idiot because he already overpaid for it when he bought it.
Yeah.
Knowing he was going to be upside down. And the bank probably, because he obviously got a loan if he's upside down, was probably like, it's right on the cusp. Yeah. Whenever they say that, like whenever you're close to their cutoff on anything,
it's probably not good.
It's probably not a good idea. You should probably reevaluate your situation.
So, yeah.
It'd be better for him to buy a brand new one and just pay on that and then sell it when.
So could you tell by the Carfax, like when he bought it?
He bought it September of last year.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Okay, so that took away the only credible thing I was going to give him a little bit of credit for. I was going to say, well, maybe he bought it a while ago, and it was nice, and he ended up just beating it up a lot more than he anticipated, and now he's just trying to get his money back out of it because, whatever. But I would find it hard to believe that, but I don't know. It's a logging town. There are a lot of people log out there. They hammer trucks pretty hard.
Yeah, but usually those guys pay for they go through trucks, they pay for them.
Right.
Like they're not upside down on a loan. Secondly, if you're going to have a loan on a vehicle, a truck, take care of the damn thing.
Seriously.
Unless it's like a cash paid for, I said in a previous episode, there's nothing more liberating than driving a vehicle that you don't give a shit about.
Yeah.
Anytime there's a loan, there's a lien against that vehicle, you should give a shit about it because you want to make sure that resale value is top dollar. In case you do need to get rid of it, you don't have to put out any money to sell it. I mean, come on now. Like and I was actually, it's funny that you guys mentioned this because on the way back from lunch today, I was thinking about man, guys that have a decent truck, but they just beat the shit out of it. It's actually kind of an amazing thing to see because, for one, they'll put those trucks in situations that you didn't think they would get into, and they'll be the only guy to get out. It's like the bone stock truck that just miraculously gets out of some sketchy ass situation, but the guy doesn't give a shit about it.
Yeah,
it's the guy that cares about his truck that ends up trying to get it out somewhere and then hook it up to a buddy's truck and rip the freaking bumper out or rip the axle out from under it or something like that. It's just it's cool to be in that position to where shit, dude, I don't freaking care. I paid cash for this thing. I'll beat the hell out of it. Yeah. Because I'm still kind of a firm believer in, especially if you get a dent in a truck, it kind of is like a story. It's kind of like it's like a remembering thing. I have a dent in my truck, a small, very small dent. I could hardly notice it. It's in my bedside, and the thing that frustrates me most about that is I don't know how I got it. I mean, really?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
How did that? Because it's. I mean, the paintless dent repair guy, it would probably take him 10 minutes to get it out. Super, like, it's not bad. Like, if you're just looking at the side of my truck, you'll never see it.
Yeah.
I mean, I just see it.
The only reason you know is because you bought it new.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm like, how did that get there? I don't know how. I don't even have a cool story.
Yeah.
Like when you have a, like, oh man, you wouldn't believe what happened. Like,
Yeah.
That to me is still kind of cool. Like I like those those type of when there's people like that have those type of stories. Like, yeah, that dent right there. Yeah, you wouldn't believe what I did to get that.
Yeah. Well, and it's the guys that are doing that have either paid cash for it or paid it off or something like that, or they understand that they have bought this and it's a tool.
Sure.
And that they're going to sell it in 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Or
trade it in or whatever.
Trade it, or just keep it until it officially blows up, and knowing that, they're hard on things, and if they go to sell it, it's going to reflect that because they're hard on it.
Yeah.
It's when I think back to when I worked at the GM dealership, it was right when the LMMs came out. Right when they came out right when I was about to leave is when the LMMs came out.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing a truck that I PDI'd.
Yeah.
This truck was brand new. Like, I was the first, aside from someone driving on and off the truck, like, I took the plastic off, I drove it, because you could see the record on there, Ben Little, PDI, blah, blah, date and everything. And it came back for its, like, second oil change, and the interior was just
thrashed.
Yeah. Like, dirt in the cup holders everywhere. There's, like, tools throughout the back, dirty as shit. Yeah. This was definitely hasn't. The only wash it's been getting is from the good Lord above, because you never got a hose.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, like, I saw the sticker on this truck.
Yeah.
This isn't, and of course it was like a Denali package.
Oh God.
Duramax. It was not cheap, brand new, probably like an 07.5, because I only worked there till 07.5, basically, like
right.
08 is when I left. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, either this guy's got some FU money, or it's just, he understands this is a tool. It's going to get used. It's going to get dirty. This is how I treat my stuff.
Yeah, I think most of those people are people that pay cash for a truck, or pay for it all up front. Like, they're not getting a loan on it, or if they are, it's a very small loan. It's nothing, nothing big. Just because I've seen that even working at working at a Dodge dealership too. Like, you see a Laramie Mega Cab roll through, and it's like beautiful, and then you look inside, you're just like,
yeah,
like there's like 30,000 freaking cigarette butts, and
like in the cup holder.
Yeah, they're everywhere. Yeah,
like, it'd be one thing if this was like like an OBS pickup that's thrashed, bent frame, doors barely shut, and the cup holder's full of cigarettes. Par for the course.
Dude,
okay?
there's a Dodge Durango that came through. I opened the passenger door, and literally Budweiser cans fucking flew out of it, dude. I was like, this dude drinks and drives like every single night.
Yeah.
Like, this dude is down.
But that is one of the reasons why, and this is, when I put this out there, Tyler, I don't want you to be offended by it. I don't think you will, because we're in two different situations.
Yeah.
But like, for me, at this point in my life, being so like when I sold the first Excursion, got my wife's car paid off, drove the Suburban for a while with no car payment or like that.
Yeah.
The feeling of knowing that my kind of like rule of thumb here is I never want to owe more than half the vehicle.
Yeah.
If I have to get a loan on something, I don't want to owe more than half the vehicle.
Sure.
And it's not because I have this like ick or something like that. Just I always think to myself, like, if I had to get out of this thing right now, and I think it'd be different if I owned a brand new truck, maybe.
Yeah.
Mostly because I don't like high car payments. But if I owned a brand new truck, I'd keep it as nice as possible. That way, if I did have to sell it,
you get top dollar.
I can still get top dollar for it. At least get out from under it.
Yeah.
But like you were saying before, when you start getting to those vehicles that are like on the very cusp of getting a loan for it, and all of a sudden, you haven't even made 2 payments on it, and you're upside down.
You're upside down as soon as you sign that piece of paper, especially like zero down. They're gonna, I'll finance the tax, title, and licensing and all that, which comes out to like $5,000, and then now you're already upside down as soon as you sign your name on that paper.
Yeah, I always think to myself, like, if I have to, it's always have an escape plan. If I have to get out of these vehicles quickly, I can sell them for a price that will get it gone fast.
Yeah.
And still get out from under them.
Yeah.
If I'm under them at all.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like how at least for used cars, how I do that. I'll be honest, I don't know if I will ever actually buy a brand new truck.
It's nice.
I wouldn't. I'm not saying no. I kind of want to. I was very close to, like back before I bought the
you were gonna
Excursion.
get an F-150.
I was gonna get an F-150 with an EcoBoost in it, and then yeah, I know, right? But I was so fed up with things nickel and diming me. Look at me now. I got 2 trucks that quarter me every day, basically.
How'd that go?
Yeah, but more or less, I'm happy. I don't have a payment on one, and the payment on the other one's like extremely low. Like I could. At this day and age, with how much fuel costs, my payment per month is usually less to fill up the freaking fuel tank. But yeah, so and we're gonna keep talking about Craigslist stuff. So
okay.
one of the ones that it was a Facebook Marketplace thing, but when I was selling a Durango, and I don't know if this guy listens because he's local up here, and I don't want to sound like I'm sort of big deal, but I'm pretty sure he knew who I was, and I had to. So I if you guys didn't know, for a short while I had a '99 Durango. That was kind of on its way out, and I kind of kicked it out the door. I tried to do everything I could to make it so it wasn't that way, and it just ended up being that way. And it's one thing when you have a car or like the Excursion that I have to work on all the time that you like, and you want to keep on the road. I could give less of a fuck about that Durango. It did nothing for me in my pants. It didn't make me feel good. Nothing was.
I've been there with a Durango before.
Well, literally,
I cut the roof off of it and blew the engine up.
The only thing that I had going for it was the fact that I could fit 2 car seats in it, and it was 4-wheel drive and had nice tires. AC didn't work. It wasn't leather.
Yeah.
Seats, weren't even nice.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, something about Dodge trucks, like yours, I feel pretty comfortable in, but just like the ergonomics. Maybe it's because I've been in Fords for pretty much all my life. But when I sit in like a different, just like the armrest feels like it's not. It's just it doesn't fit my body. Right.
Well, they're meant for like big fat guys, They don't
right. Yeah. Big ass fat dudes with suspenders on.
Yeah. I'm just gonna slide right off this seat. This bolster gone.
Yeah. We don't need that shit where we're going.
Yeah.
But so I finally got to the point on this thing where the front end definitely needed some work, and it started getting a pretty bad coolant leak to the point where, and it was the dead of winter, and I basically for me to have any sort of heat driving into work, I would fill it with water, and I would have no heat because there wouldn't be coolant circulating through the heater core by the time I got to work because it'll leak out. Yeah. And for me to get home, I just dump more water in and drive home. Luckily, it's like 5 degrees outside, so as soon as it got above like 20 degrees, I cooked that fucker like 4 times.
Yeah.
I'd be sitting at a stoplight.
You don't even need to worry about it freezing because by the time you got home, there was nothing in it.
Yeah. So and then at that point, I bought the Excursion. I just happened to see it that one, and I bought the Excursion. So the Durango sat till the end of winter, froze, thawed out, froze again because winter came back around. And I was like, all right, well, I need to get this thing, get going and gone, because it was here at work. And Brian's like, you should probably get that thing out of here. It's kind of a piece of shit. I'm like, I know. I'm just waiting for things to thaw out, and I'm selling it for like, you know anybody that wants it? $100. Like, just take it. I don't care. And finally, I was like, all right, I should probably try and see what I can do to get a couple dollars out of it. Because I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, and this just sounds bad, but like, I did put a new stereo in it. It had BFG, 31-inch BFG nice tires that were like. They had less than like 6,000 miles on them.
Yeah.
Brand new freaking tires, basically. So I'm like, okay, I should probably, let's just at least clean it up. I'll post it and be super flexible in price. So I go out and start it. And first thing it does, the water pump is still frozen. So it just pop. Here goes the belt. I'm like, okay. Well, I did that at lunch, and I walked back in, and I was like, all right, guys, well, that's toast. Who wants to buy the tires?
Right.
Almost did that, and I was like, I should give it a minute. So I waited till things thawed out, like a couple weeks later. I went and started it, fired right up. Cool. All right. So I threw a new belt on it. Okay. Everything's moving the way it should. All right, cool. But it definitely started to leak. Like you could, with the engine off, you could start pouring water in, and within about, 15 seconds, you just hear it coming out on the engine. Like it wasn't even like towards the front, like it was on the block.
That stop leak stuff that looks like
I did.
You did.
Blue Devil.
Did you use the shit with the flakes in it?
Yep.
Like that has okay.
Oh yeah.
Still didn't do it, huh?
No.
Wow.
No, because it was a freeze plug. I found out because the guy who bought it told me, but yeah, it was a freeze plug.
Speaking of the guy that tells you, I hate it when you sell something and then the new owner will like text you like the issue that like, oh, it has this issue. It's like, sweet, dude, it's yours. Yeah.
I honestly, I didn't really mind about that because he won't get that to me. Yeah, he knew, and he honestly, he gave me what I wanted for it. So and he was like, it's fair, cool. It'd be like the same guy who like just done with a 7.3 Power Stroke, doesn't want to deal with it anymore, and I get it back and it's like O-ring, spring, slap it with a hammer, fires up, runs perfect. I'm like, turn around, sell it for like $7,000 more.
Yeah,
that's basically what happened. Like he was a 4.7 guy. He's a Durango guy. Whatever, he likes them. I don't know. Apparently they're out there. So, but the first guy that hit me up on Facebook was like, hey, I want to come take a look at it when you're gonna be around. I was like, all right, cool, yeah, I'm here, whenever. So he comes, takes a look at it, and then he sees where I'm working. He's like, oh shit, and he's got like a second gen, got some parts on it. He's got like a Northwest Custom sticker on it. So he's got a bird sticker. I was like, okay, so we probably know some of the same people.
Yeah.
Comes and looks at it, and he's like, I gotta tell you, man, like I this guy was a Durango guy too. Apparently, it was Durango guys. He's like, yeah, this is what I do. Basically, like Durangos, caravans, and stuff like that. I get them, and there are a lot of times they're just not running. They just leave a little bit of work, and then I turn around and sell them. I'm like, cool, man. Well, this is your jam. It's a nice vehicle. The interior is not shot. The headliner's good. The seat's in good shape.
Yeah. You
can hear it starts up and runs. You could drive it on the trailer. I just wouldn't drive far.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, cool. I'm at like $400. I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah, the tires are worth more than that, bro.
I'm not doing 400.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, cool. That's fine. I'll be in touch if anything changes. I'm going to look at another one. I'm like, cool, man. Hey, yeah, that's fine. No big deal. And so he messaged me back later that night because I was asking, what did I ask for it? I think I was at like $1,250 or $1,300 or something like that. I can't remember. He messaged me back. He's like, would you do 6? I'm like, no. Like, I'll tell you what. I'll come down. I think I came down to $1,000. Yeah. I was like, if you got a trailer, you could pick it up tomorrow. We'll do $1,000 cash. Because
you could take the tires off that and then bring the whole rig to the scrapyard and get more money.
Yeah, but I mean, if he's one of the guys that just wants to pull the engine, do it, and put it back in, it's again like me 7.3 guy, him apparently a Durango guy. Who the fuck knows?
Surprised you guys don't have more in common. You like issues, yeah. Kind of weird.
Yeah, kind of weird. And so, like, we finally haggle back and forth, and he's like, every time he asks me for something, it's this, it's that, I got to make some more money on it, I'm not going to be able to sell it for a lot. I'm like, fine. But every time he asked me to come down, I came down in price. And finally, we ended at, I think it was like, I was like, because I hadn't had any other bites on it, I was like, fine, whatever, man. You pick this up tomorrow at 3 o'clock when I'm off work, $750 cash, bring it, I'm done. Yeah. And he was still trying to, like, lowball me a little bit or something like that. And I was like, no. He's like, well, I can't be there tomorrow. I'll be there. It was like a day and a half or something like that. I'll have a trailer or something like that. All right, fine. I was like, but just so you know, I'm leaving the ad posted.
Yeah.
And if someone gives me a better offer,
I'm taking it.
But I'll let you know.
Yeah.
If you get here, like once you're on, once I see you, we're good.
Cheers. Yeah.
But until you actually show up with a trailer, I'm just this thing's still for sale. Okay, cool. And so like that very next morning, the clockwork, guy hits me up. Hey man, I think you're asking a fair price. Can I come look at it? Sure. Comes there. I'm like, I get to work. I'm like, hey man, I'm usually at work by 9. I'll be in by 8:30. He's like, cool. I'll meet you at 8:30. Right on. So he comes over, starts it up. It's him and his wife, and they're looking at it. And they're both like, yeah, I guess they like Durangos, and she really likes Durangos, and he wants to get her a Durango. And I'm like, well, I got a Durango, man. Yeah. and we're like, cool. He's like, all right. I mean, would you do 11? I'm like, sure. He's like, cool. Well, it's probably going to take me about 45 minutes or so to get cash. I'm like, that's fine.
Yeah.
He's like, well, what do I need to do to like make sure that this doesn't get sold? I was like, honestly, man, if you come back in 45 minutes, we're good.
Yeah.
If I don't hear from you, or if you're going to be like 20 minutes late, give me an update.
Yeah.
If you leave and I don't hear from you, and I shoot you a call and you don't answer, I'm assuming you're gone.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, cool, man. Like, I understand. I've been there. How Craigslist stuff goes.
Yeah.
I was like, cool, man. Hey, we're on the same page. We vibe it.
Yeah.
Cool. And so as soon as he goes to leave, I message the guy like, hey man, just so you know, I had someone come. He offered me more. I told him I'm going to take it. I'm letting you know because I told you I'll let you know. If you for some reason flakes, we're still on for $750 when you get here.
Yeah. And
he just starts cussing me out. And he's not even supposed to be there till like 5 o'clock. It's still the morning.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude. He's like, how? That's fucked up, man. Is that how you guys do business at Diesel Power Products? And I was like, first off, that's where the truck is. That's why I work. That's not me. This deal is you and me. Yeah. This has nothing to do with the company I work for.
Get that straight.
Keep my company's name or
out
your mouth. Like because the next thing I can see is like him leaving a review on there, and of course I'm the guy that responds to damn reviews.
Yeah,
sold me a Durango and backed out on them. I'm like, first off, this transaction has nothing to do with that company.
Yeah.
Yes, I work there. Yes, you can look at it there, but nothing to do with it. Don't even connect those two things, man.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, I told you. I've been nothing but honest with you. That's what I was like, honestly, dude, every time you've asked for something, every time you wanted to come down in price, I came down in price.
Yeah.
Okay. So
you're the one who drug your feet.
You know, and if that was the hot deal for you, then you should have made it happen.
You should have just came down and paid him.
That's messed up, man. I guess that's how you see you do. I was like, hey, dude, person of my word, man of my word. I'll let you, once I give him the title, once he walks away with it, or when they come back and buy it, I'll let you know, because I don't want you to waste your time, even though you're not supposed to be here for 7 hours.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I'm like, okay. And then, the guy bought the truck and signed the title over. He's a happy guy, came, like, literally showed up back, gave me money, and I gave him the title, and he's like, well, I won't be back, and I have to go get the trailer. It's going to take me a couple hours to get the trailer. I'm like, dude, you paid me.
Yeah.
I was like,
I'll move it right out front, right there, and you can go get it.
Well, what I told him, I was like, I signed the title over. I had a contract ready, and he signed it. I signed it. He even brought a contract himself, and we both pulled out. We looked at each other like, you and I, okay. Hey, you're cool, man.
Yeah.
You and I are both on the same page. Even his wife was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
It always makes me nervous when someone doesn't have a sales contract. I was like, dude, you guys are good people. Like, here's a title. I don't want to sound weird, but I am going to hold on to one key until you pick it up in case I have to move it.
Yeah.
But that's it. Like, in case for some reason, because we're doing construction, if I have to move it, I want to be able to move it.
Sure.
That's fine. I was like, dude, you have the title, you have the keys, you have a signed contract. Like,
it's yours.
You know where I work. Like, if you're trying to, like, not to bring the company back into it, but it's like I'm some, you're not meeting a random in a parking lot and me leaving it.
Right.
Okay. He's like, all right, cool, man. And he came back, picked it up, and then, as soon as they left, I messaged the guy back, hey, just so you know, they bought it, whatever. And then he proceeded to obviously cuss me out and leave me my only seller review on Facebook Marketplace. Communication poor. I was like, dude, I told, whatever, man. I can't even, but yeah, that's my most recent freaking Marketplace gripe. I've sold some other stuff on Marketplace too, but like some people go crazy or some stuff. Like I sold a fire pit, dig a pit, right? A fire pit, like a propane fire pit.
Yeah.
And I had people that were like, and I priced it like I wanted to get it gone, but it wasn't like I asked $0 for it. I posted a link for it new. It's like $400. It did have an issue, and I posted a video of it with the issue. I was like, it's just old. Like, you got to hold it on for a second, and once everything gets hot and it gets flowing, you let go and it runs fine.
Yeah.
And it's got a little bit of rust here, and I showed a picture of it. Like, yeah, it sat outside for 2 winters. There you go. But I mean, it's new. It's $400, $100.
Yeah. Does
not come with a propane tank. And I just got people that were like, I'll send you Venmo right now, but I can't pick it up for a week. I'm getting in my car from Montana right now. I'm like, for $100 fire pit? Like, you need to chill the F out.
Seriously.
And this wasn't even when, like, before fuel had gone up in price yet. But anyways, and finally, like, someone just came to get it. And so I ended up having to, like, message, like, 14 people back.
Yeah.
Just like, hey, sold. And someone were like, hey, thanks for letting me know. Hey, thanks for letting me know. And I had someone that was like, fuck you, man. Like,
it's a fire pit, bro.
First off, it's a fire pit. Second, you asked for more detailed pictures of the rust, and I sent them to you, and then you tried to haggle me down.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
no.
Like, when can you pick it up? Like, one guy even, I think, offered me, the first person, he was like, hey, $80, but I'll be there tomorrow morning. I was like, if it's here tomorrow morning, $80 is all yours, man.
Yeah.
And he was one of the guys I messaged back. Ironically, he was one of the guys I messaged back. He was like, hey, man, I sold it. He's like, how much did you sell it for? 120. Like, damn. All right, cool, man. Well, thanks for letting me know. He was the one I was expecting to be like, I'm going to come to your house and slit your throat.
Yeah, I think on Marketplace, I think, because I don't know about you, but I just posted, the factory wheels and tires off my Talon.
I saw that, yeah.
And I think people should get charged if they ghost you after asking if it's available and they never message you back. I freaking cannot stand that. Because I message back right away.
Yeah.
Like, boom, yeah, it's still literally just posted. It was probably like a bot or something, I would imagine. I don't know. But they should get charged like $5 for wasting my time.
Because I was, one of the most recent things I sold on there was some baby stuff.
Yeah.
And I had this one lady like message me, but it was like through Facebook Marketplace Messenger, but Instagram, because I guess they can connect the two. And she was like, I figured out it was a bot or like some like a scammer, obviously, but like after the first couple of questions, you try to be polite
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Like, she's like, hey, how many kids do you have? I was like, okay. Well, some people just ask that kind of stuff. Whatever. I'm like, all right. I'm like,
It's none of your business, lady.
First off, in the ad, I was
I
like,
have no kids. Now ask me why I have this stuff.
even in the ad, I was like, we just had our second child and we're done. So she's,
Didn't read.
yeah, apparently or whatever. I was like, well, we just had our second one and she's, done with this stuff. So we're just trying to sell it. Oh, that's cool. Would you take this? And I'm like, sure. When can you pick it up? She goes, well, I would have to have my nephew pick it up because I'm out of town for work. And at first I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
Let me know when you're ready. And usually when that stuff happens, like sometimes I'll meet people at my house if they're like, if I can actually get a proper
I
message.
try not to at all.
I try not to, but like for the fire pit, the guy was like, he's like, where's it located? I was like, well, right by Albertsons. He's like, I'm in Albertsons. I live around here. I was like, oh shit, you could be my neighbor. Like, oh, here's anything. He's like, cool, I'll be there in like 10 seconds. I was like, and he was. He's like, I literally saw the ad in Albertsons and I've been looking for one of those and I have like $100 on me right now or 100 whatever it is.
Yeah.
I pulled that out and like left my shopping cart to come get this. So I have to go back over there and finish shopping. I was like, cool, man.
Yeah, done.
If it's that expensive, okay, whatever. But yeah, well, I have to have my nephew come pick it up. I was like, cool. Let me know when your nephew wants to bring cash and it's all yours. Well, he's not able to handle cash. And I'm like, not able. First off, why is he picking you up? Like, obviously at that point, I'm like, bot.
Yeah.
I'm like, not able to. Can you use Zelle?
No.
I'm like, no.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. Like,
Cold hard cash.
Yeah, cold hard cash. And first in my mind, and this is only because like
And it better be none of that warm tit cash.
Yeah. I swear, if it's a male and it shows up with like 100 singles, so help me.
Yeah. None of that weird boob.
Yeah.
They put it in their boob and it's all nice and hot and sweaty.
Yeah.
Nice, not nice.
Not nice.
Not nice.
Yeah.
Like
Wet money. That wet titty money. Yeah, and finally I was like, no thank you.
Yeah.
And she's like, no thank you. And if I just block.
Yeah.
But ironically, none of that stuff has sold yet. So I'm kind of thinking
That's kind of weird.
maybe she freaking blocked me and then somehow reported me or some shit. I don't know. Usually up until that point, I had really good luck selling things on Marketplace.
Yeah.
I sold the old tires off the Excursion. I sold some car parts. I've sold all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
There's only one of them that like I think I told the shelf story before, but like, my wife was like, we don't need the shelf, sell it. So I posted it. I had like dog, when we had Coda, kind of chewed on my son, like threw things on his juice stains or whatever. And I posted it for like $15 or $20 or something like that. And somebody was like, oh, it's perfect. It matches the wood in my room, blah, blah. And it's like a Target shelf. It's not nice. But it's put together.
Yeah.
And I gave it like the old 30-second wipe down with some freaking like Pine Sol or Windex. So it smelled nice. Yeah. And she shows up and my wife is like, oh, you got it sold? I was like, yeah. She's like, how much sell for? She's like, I think I posted it for 40 and she's like, we take 30. I was like, yeah, sure. It's fine. And I was like, yeah, I got it. She'll take 30 for it. She's like, it costed 15 new. And then and I'm like, okay, thinking to myself like, hey, come up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
inflation.
Well, then I go outside and it's like, I have a soft spot, obviously, but it's a mom and there's like 4 car seats in the van and there's like stuff all over the place. And you could tell she's like just thinking to herself, like, finally it matches. And I brought it out to the van and I was like, ma'am, I just walked by my wife and she alerted me that this was $15 new. I didn't know that she just told me to get rid of it. So you can just have this. If it matches your stuff, you can just have it. And she was like, the look on her face, I'm not trying to say I'm like a good guy or something, because I'm not. I'm kind of traditionally an asshole. Yeah. But the look on her face is just like I had just given her like $1,000 or something like that. I just filled up her van with fuel or so, or just fed all her kids. And I'm just like, I thought she was good. Like, kiss me on the forehead and pray or something like that. I was like, man, it's just a shelf.
Yeah. First of all, if you're struggling that much, maybe don't buy the shelf.
Yeah, maybe don't buy the shelf. A shelf is a shelf. You need a shelf, get a shelf. But at the same time,
if you don't got money for a shelf,
don't buy the shelf.
Don't buy the shelf.
Yeah. Well, I put it in her van for her, and she was just like over the moon, like, oh, thank you so much. I've been trying to find something that matches. I was like, hey, I guess if it matches, whatever. Your van's newer
it's a perfect match for you.
Yeah, your van is worth more than both my vehicles in the driveway. So I guess you're doing something right. I don't know. But yeah, I came back in and my wife was just like, did you really sell that for $30? And I was like, well, you told me that. I just gave it to her. I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I felt bad.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd feel a little bit bad. Yeah.
Now making money on vehicles, I don't give a shit about.
Yeah. Another thing with Craigslist, pictures. There are so many filters and things you can do on your cell phone that I have no idea how to. Like, you're the one who told me, oh, you should have took that picture in portrait mode.
Yeah.
I'm like, why? Like, I know, but like, they never trust a picture ever. The one that gets me is my Suburban. So I took pictures of that, and I intentionally posted the glamour shots. Like, I was like, that thing was going up on Tinder, and I wanted to get, like, glamour shots. That's it. That is it. It hides everything. There's a reason why women do it with the filters, because you could take a shitty picture. Like, because I'll take pictures, like, I don't know about you guys, but like when my wife asked for like pictures with her and her girlfriends, like, I'll take like 30.
Oh yeah. Rapid fire.
Like, there's got to be one that's good. Well, I've like the last 2 times I've done that, and it's like, oh, all these are shit. And it, like, hold on, filter. Oh, that one's cute.
Yeah.
It's like, you just changed everything.
Yeah.
The hell?
Liar.
God. Yeah. So never trust the pictures. Never trust the pictures.
When you mentioned the ad for your Suburban, I recently came across my ad for my Suburban when I sold it. I took the most glamour shots ever.
Did you?
That's probably one of the most honest listings. I'm not saying I'm dishonest in my listings, but I'm really good about putting detail out there.
Yeah.
And that was probably one of the, like, I didn't wash it. Like, the car seat was still in. Usually I'll take everything out and get, the interior wiped down. Didn't do any of that. And, like, even in the ad, I was like, this light comes on, I did this, and this. It starts up and runs every time. Heater's hot, AC's cold, it's got rust. See the pictures. And I took like, a glamour shot of the rust.
Yeah.
Like, golden hour rust. Poof,
Yeah.
golden hour rust. Poof.
Yeah.
But I was like, here's the tear in the driver's seat. Here's the stain over here. Like, this just... I'm asking a fair price for it. Don't fucking haggle me.
Yeah.
Like, you're buying a 2003 Suburban with 250,000 miles on it.
What do you
That's now
expect?
been through 3 families.
Yeah.
Okay. Chill the F out.
Yeah.
Does it start? Every time. Does it drive? Every time.
60% of the time, it drives every time.
Yeah. And I never thought I'd say this, but I now look back at my time with Suburban with a slight bit of fondness.
Yeah.
Just because things were simpler.
I miss my Suburban.
Yeah.
That 6.2, she just did everything she could. That transmission, however, she was like, nope, ain't gonna be able to do it. Ain't gonna be able to do it. I remember rolling into work when I was like, yep, this thing's gone. And it actually upset me because I wanted to keep the tires off of it because those were nice tires. Those are Nitto Terragrappler G2s, 35s. Nice. I remember I'm like struggling to get to work. Like, struggle. Like, it was tough. Mm-hmm. And I coasted into that parking lot, and I was like, yep, she's going up for sale today. Yeah. And I sold that thing within like 6 hours.
Yeah.
Like, it was quick. I think I sold it the same day.
Oh, totally. Yeah. I remember you came in.
The guy.
You're like, yep, sold it. I was like, damn, dude. It's not even lunch.
Yeah, for like $1,200.
Yeah.
So the only reason why it sold for that much is because the wheels and tires. That is it. The guy that showed up had a come and swapped Suburban he was towing it with. I was like, oh, this is going to the right place.
Yeah. He knows exactly what he's doing.
He knows exactly. Like, I could have put nothing in the listing and just put like Suburban truck done.
Yeah. And like one side shot picture.
Yeah. One. Yeah. Done.
Runs, drives, not well. $1,200.
Yeah. He's like, you got the third row seat? I'm like, yeah, I got the third row. Yeah.
Be there in 20 minutes.
He even came back because I had the third row at my house, and then I had the old transmission at my house. He even came by my house and picked that stuff up. I was like, perfect. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah.
Well, if you've had some interesting Craigslist stories or Facebook Marketplace stories,
love to hear them.
I want to hear them in the comments section. I want to hear the gooders. I know, Jim, I know you've had one. I know Chris has had one. I want to hear the gooders, the stuff that, not the ghosted me, do this other kind of stuff. Like, I want the weird. I want the weird.
Yeah.
I want to hear the weird.
Yeah.
Well, that is about going to wrap this one up. I greatly appreciate all you guys tuning in. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe and check us out at dieselpowerproducts.com.